Hello everyone, welcome to my review of The Meg. I would give The Meg 8 out of 10 jaw comparisons. The movie was directed by John Turteltaub, if I get that right. He directed Three Ninjas, National Treasure 1 and 2, I believe, and The Sorcerer Apprentice. So a lot of Nick Cage movies in there. But Three Ninjas, that was made back in the 90s, and that's a small cult classic to me. I just really like the Three Ninja series. This movie stars Jason Statham, Rainn Wilson from The Office, Ruby Rose, Bing Lee, among many others, and some other names I'd probably butcher if I tried, so I'm just not going to. This was actually in development hell since the 90s, I believe, with it being passed from three studios. I think one was actually Disney, another was New Line Cinema, and then I've finally landed on the doorstep of Warner Brothers. This idea was based on the book The Meg. No, just Meg, a novel of deep terror by Steve Altson. For the parent section of this, this is PG-13, but it's a sharp PG-13, so there's a lot of guts, but it's CGI guts of a whale and such. I feel like it's pretty gory, but when I was watching it, there was a family next to me, and there was probably a 2 or 3 year old, and then a 4 or 5 year old brother with him, and they never freaked out. But then again, they were just focusing on their little wrapped plastic candies, so to each their own. There's a couple cursing, but the biggest thing to worry about is the shark gore. You don't really see a lot of humans being bit. There's a lot of other animals' blood and such that you see, so just be wary of that. For the actual film, I think this film is good. It surprises you how long how much. It surprises you on how you can take it as a Jaws ripoff, but it really does more than that. I think this is a very solid B movie. It's not in other movies this year. It's not highly made like Infinity War or I don't want to say all Marvel movies, but almost all Marvel movies that came out this year. It's not that high quality. It's still high quality. I mean, it still had a budget of 120 million, I think it was suggested, and it was a joint project between America and China, and you can clearly see that throughout the whole film. But it's a fun film. Jason Statham is really good in it. He has a lot of BA moments, and at the same time, he has a lot of humanizing moments. A lot of those come with one of the child actors. Her name's Shuya Sophia Kai. I'm sorry if I'm doing that wrong. She plays Mieng. Again, sorry. But that chemistry and just that little character herself is just adorable. Oh my gosh, you cannot not love that little girl. She's so great. She's so funny, and she's only 10 years old. Only 10, and she's just blowing my mind. This is her second film she's done. In comparison to another child actor in a big budget film this year, in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, her name is Isabella. She is 2 years older than Sophia in The Meg, but I think the little girl in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I don't want to say sucked because it's a kid. It's hard to learn acting, I bet, as a kid, especially when you're right next to Chris Pratt or something like that. But Sophia does such a great job with Statham. They have such a great chemistry. It's weird. It's like they're father-daughter, but they're not. They're just randomly good buddies in the film. It's great. Rainn Wilson does a great job, I think, as well. Really, the whole cast does it well. That it's not just a random like, oh, big shark, bites people, let's go do it. There's actually some plot, there's some development, there's reasoning behind actions, and that everyone sells it well. It's not oversold. You don't think, oh gosh, like really, like this is such a coined in, cashed in performance by Ruby or someone. No, everyone does well, and it would do what their characters would do in that current situation. So all in all, I think it's a fun time. If you had any interest in it, just go see it. Spoiler wise, we're just going to get into it. A couple people die. There's a grandfather figure that dies. That's sad. 2 of Jason's ex-buddies die in a previous situation. There's two fake outs on which you think that the main characters got the Meg, like the actual Megalodon, but there's a moment where they kill a tiny Megalodon and he gets swallowed by even a bigger Megalodon, so they release two, and then a fake out where they think they got it and it's actually a whale, and then the Meg actually shows up. But in terms of plot, there's a bottom seafloor plane, kind of like the Marinara Trench, but the scientists believe that the bottom floor is actually just thick hydrogen, like gases and such. And so they go through it, and that's where the Meg was. But when they have to get GTFO because the Meg attacked them and killed one of their buddies, when they jettison out of that surface, it releases enough stuff where the Meg can get through, and that's where the main plot comes from. So that's where they get a lot of responsibility. That's why there's a lot of action, like they're actually going after it, even though they really don't want to because it's a Meg. But it gives them reasoning. It gives them like an actual plot device other than just going to the next location, which is what happens in some movies that I've recently seen that I'll get on in other videos. But the Meg itself is just a fun time. It doesn't make you overthink. There's some thinking to it, but it's simple thinking that you can get. And I like it at the end that the main trope of like the random guy and the random girl, the two main actors, have to make out at the end. They don't. They're just like, hey, we can go maybe do something later. That's it. It's just suggested that they might. We have no idea, and I like that. I don't like the forced romance trope, and there's no forced third act, someone PO someone else, and no one PO'd Jason to where he left and then had to come back after like a moment of realization. No, they were all together as a group, well, except for Rainn Wilson, but I won't spoil that aspect. But they're all together as a group, focusing on this one objective, getting rid of the Meg so it doesn't kill more people. And I think it's a pretty admirable thing. I think as of right now, it's made over 160,000, and I think the budget was 120 or 130,000. But yeah, just go see it. I don't think you need to see it in IMAX. It's just a good time in general. I think any theater would do fine, or if at the very least, rent it. But if you had any inclination or have any MoviePass system, just go see it. I think it'll be worth your time. With that being said, that's my review of the Meg. This has been Clark Addison Reviews Entertainment. And just remember, I watch movies because I care. See you guys next time.